Hey everybody. Hey, hey. Um, I'm gonna go right into the live stream, okay? So, have y'all ever had a man come into your life pretty much like a fairy tale, okay? He's like, "Oh my god, I see you as my wife. You're my queen." You know? And he's saying all this shit within a week. "Oh my god, I love you. I could see you as my wife. Oh my god, you're so beautiful." He's texting you, "Good morning. Good morning, beautiful." You're waking up every morning like, "Oh, yes. Yes, he texted me. Yes." He's like, "I've never felt this way before." And then boom, out of nowhere, you're like, "He isn't we don't went the whole day, he hasn't texted me back." You know, he slows down. He slows down on communication with you. Y'all texting now. Y'all was texting every half an hour. Now y'all texting every 3 hours. And you're over here thinking like, okay, what did I do wrong? Did I say something? Like, what the hell is going on? And you didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You did nothing wrong. This is love bombing. Okay. This is just classic scenario of love bombing. And I would say that love bombing is probably one of the most manipulative tactics that men use in order to trap women before you make them chase them, because that's also a common theme these days when a lot of women are like, these men want us to chase them, these men want us to chase them. They absolutely do. um oh my god, my hair is everywhere, and that's really because this is all psychological. This is all psychological. Also, don't mind my setup. Child, it's been a wild barely 24 hours. It's been a while, barely 24 hours. I was on the road for 14 hours yesterday, and a lot of stuff has happened since then. I'm probably going to get into it on my Patreon. So, my Patreon, I talk about dark manipulation tactics on there. I give all if you're a spicy worker and you want advice for your spicy work, you can go on ahead and follow my Patreon. The link is in the description at the bottom, so you'll find it there. And I also do kind of do like updates on my personal life, and I kind of like touch on and talk about things that I normally would not talk about here on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, please go on ahead and sign up to my Patreon. Okay. Everyone in the chat, hello, hello. To all my lovely sovereign sisters, hello, hello. Please do not forget to go on ahead and hit the thumbs up for me. Please go on ahead and hit the thumb for me. That lets YouTube know that you like the live. And when you like the live, that's really, really good for the algorithm. And it's really, really good for me. That way they can know that my content is good, it is of value, it is educating you, and they will pump this content out for other people to see. That way, we can have more of our sisters be sovereign, okay? And we can have more of our, sisters stepping in their power, reigning in their power, doing all of the good things. So, um, let's talk about, what is love bombing. Well, actually, I want you to tell me in the chat, have y'all ever experienced a man switching up on you? Have you ever experienced a man like being perfect, being nice, and then all of a sudden he's a completely different person? All of a sudden he is just like completely different, and you haven't done anything, nothing's changed, nothing's been different. He just has she said yep, and I don't give a damn. That's the attitude. That's the attitude that you're supposed to have. That's how it should be, because really you should be unbothered. Like, for real, you should be unbothered. Hey, you really should be unbothered, because this manipulation tactic, it's really just done to try to hook you and reel you in. So let's talk about what is love bombing. Okay. So love bombing is pretty much any type of excessive affection, attention, um, intimate, romantic, gestures and favors, very grandiose acts at the very beginning of a relationship. okay? And this is kind of like the reason why it's very important for you as a woman to not emotionally attach to a man right away, especially when he does things such as compliment you, buy you gifts, do things like that. You know, accept all the gifts, accept all the compliments. Please do. Okay. Please do. However, do not create a sense of emotional dependency on a man because he is doing these things. And the reason why you don't want to do that is simply because the number one thing that men need is your emotional vulnerability in order to be able to play the game against you, to be able to manipulate you, to be able to play you like a fiddle in order to get their needs met. And so, me personally, I don't mind a love bomber. And the reason why I don't mind a love bomber is because I don't emotionally invest just because someone is love bombing me. Okay? You just accept everything and then when they quit love bombing you, you quit fucking talking to them. You know? The biggest thing is that a lot of women fall into this trap of, "Oh my god, he's love bombing you," and you're taking it as he likes me, he really cares for me, he really does, he like you're coming up with all of these scenarios in your head to pretty much justify him liking you, when in reality he really doesn't like you. It really does have nothing to do with you. And once if you stay here for the whole time and if you watch the rest of this video, you will understand that love bombing, it has nothing to do with you. Okay, they're definitely not doing this because you're special. They're not doing it because they like you. They're not doing it because they care about you. They're not doing it because of that at all. So love bombing is like, it feels very nice. It feels very nice to be love bombing because exactly, it's a trap, okay? It literally is a trap. And you'll know it's a trap because, for instance, there was one guy and like I could already tell that he was trying to like love bomb me through text messages. Okay. He thought that I would be one of those girls that would be easily impressed because he texts me good morning beautiful, every day. And so I had asked him, I said, I would prefer it if you didn't text me every morning good morning beautiful. I just straight up told him, I was like, I don't want you to text me every morning good morning beautiful. I was like, no, it's fine. And he didn't know what the fuck to think. He didn't know what the fuck to think when I told him that. Because pretty much what I was doing is I was shooting him in the foot when it came to his ability to be able to love bomb me. I don't care about a goddamn good morning text. I don't even like getting a text message to begin with. And so he was flabbergasted. He was like, "What do you mean? But like, I want to wish you a good morning. I want to wish you a good day." And I'm like, "I understand that, but I don't care about you sending me a good morning text." Like, exactly. Like, I'm not 16 years old, bro. We grown. Like that was cute in high school. Yeah, grand rising, like what? Like, that's the bare minimum. Men should be doing more than just texting. Girl, as soon as a man is texting me good morning every day, like the consistency with the text messages, like all that stuff, I'm just kind of like, okay, this is probably I'm live streaming. This is probably like some like weird like form, like it's like always gonna be the love bombing, I feel like. Let me see. What is your idea of a suitable dating partner in 2025? Honestly, my suitable dating partner, it doesn't even exist. I feel like for most women, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's still amazing they still think that shit gives us butterflies. It's like, no, it does the complete opposite. So, um, So pretty much when they like switch between love bombing you and then pretty much just like ghosting you, they're gonna text you every morning. They're gonna tell you, "Oh, I've never felt this way before." That's like another key one that I like try to listen to or listen for. When they say like, "I never felt this way before." When they want to call you wifey right away, they want to start like planning a future with you after like a couple of dates. They want you to be their girlfriend after like a week or 2 weeks. And then boom, like the energy will just be completely different. Now he's too busy. He used to pick you up. Now he wants you to like meet up with him. And then essentially like you feel needy for, now you feel needy because it's like, oh shit, he isn't texting me, and it's like I don't want to look thirsty for like texting him and asking him like, well, what's going on or what's happening. You don't want to look desperate. And so then you start, you get out your phone and you start rereading the text and you're like, okay, you know you're over here trying to, figure out what y'all was talking about and what you might have said, and then you start reading into the text and you're like, what's going on? Like, what did I say? What did I do? And then you scrolling up to the higher text messages when he used to tell you, "Good morning, beautiful. Oh my God, I love you. I like you so much." And it's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Um, Yeah, and then, like, they completely switch up on you, and so this is not an accident, it's not an accident. They can make every excuse in the world whenever they're giving you these excuses like, "Oh, well, work got busy," or, "This happened," or "That happened," blah, yada, yada, yada. Whenever he starts giving you excuses as to why his behavior has changed, usually this is now the pullback phase, okay? This is the second part of him pretty much trying to psychologically, hack you, and the reason why they do this is because it is a technique to get you emotionally addicted to them. Okay. So every good morning text, every gift that they give you, um, every compliment that they give you, it's almost kind of like it's like a penny slot in their brain. That's like how I think of it. And so what they're gonna do is like they're gonna give you penny slot, penny slot, penny slot, penny slot. And it's like, okay, they're hitting the jackpot. And then like boom, they're just like, you know what? I'm not gonna invest any more pennies into this. I got enough earnings from this machine now. And so, guess what? I'm going to walk away from my earnings. I'm going to walk away from my. I'm gonna walk away with my winnings and go now and move on to the next machine to go play at. I told him he better lay off the random clown emojis or else the quiet part not said out loud. Another clown emoji and boom, he's out. That's weird. Why is someone sending clown emojis? He's probably giving you a sign. He's probably over here giving you a sign and warning you he's a clown ass motherfucker. Could you do a video on staying emotionally detached? I've been getting much better at it. Yeah. Yes, most definitely. Can you try to describe the type of man that is the opposite of the men that you're talking about? Okay, so I already kind of have this like planned out within the live stream anyway to kind of explain the differences between um you being love bombed and you having genuine, or someone love bombing you versus someone having a genuine interest into you. Okay, so I'll just do a few throughout the whole entire live. So for the first two is this. Okay, the pace of the relationship is very, very important. And the thing about it is that if you are someone that is really desperate, you're over here trying to get the ring, you're over here trying to get wifed and cuffed up and everything else. These types of men that are love bombing you, they want to pace the relationship super fast. So these are the men who you're going to get married within 6 months, you're in a relationship within a month. And, Joni even said it in the chat. I really wouldn't trust anything earlier. I wouldn't trust anything any earlier than the first 3 months when it comes to how fast they're moving. And And honestly, when you really pay attention to your feeling, you'll be able to put two and two together. And you'll really be able to like, for instance, it's the first month and you already met his parents. In what in what context would that ever make sense? Like, in what context would that ever be genuine? That would never be genuine because that's way too fast to do such a thing. Like, if you've only known him for a month and you are over here meeting his parents, you mean to tell me every single woman that you end up dating, you're going to literally introduce them all to your parents within the first month of dating? That doesn't, like, no, that's not someone that is genuinely interested in you. That's somebody trying to play the game. That's somebody trying to manipulate you. That's somebody that is trying to, like, pretty much psychologically fuck you. Okay? Genuine interest is going to be based upon someone that is willing to let the relationship progress naturally over time. And the thing about it is that I'm I will just call it out. I will. I just type of person that will just call it out. So, like, for instance, if I do notice that, like, someone is, like, trying to move so fast, I just straight up tell them, you're moving too fast. What is the rush? What is the hurry?" And then if they give you some generic answer, "Oh, I just like you so much and I just feel an instant connection and I don't want to let you go." And they just give you all of this just typical crap that anyone would say to try to make someone feel comfortable and loved and worthy and da, da, da. You already know they're full of shit in most cases. Like, come on. Come on. There's no they don't know enough about you. There is no way where someone would know enough information about you to want to move this quickly. Okay? So pace is the first thing. All right? You should be looking for someone that has a natural pace in the relationship. Okay? The second, consistency. Whenever you are in confusion about a man, this is a man that is no good for you. Always remember that. Being in a state of confusion is a non-negotiable. The second you start getting confused with a man's motives or with a man's intentions or with the man's actions, you're in the danger zone. Remember how Kevin Samuels used to say that, women between 30, 35, and 40, we were in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone when a man has you confused. So don't ever sit here and question yourself and be in your head about, well, why? Once you got to start asking yourself, well, why did he do this? And why isn't he doing this? And you're trying to put two and two together, walk away. Just walk away. You would never be, it would never be meant for you to be with someone that would have you questioning yourself. Okay. That's a clear sign that you're being manipulated when you have to question your reality or someone's actions or anything like that. A person that, when it comes to consistency, a person that is going to genuinely be interested in you by showing consistency, they're going to be steady and they're going to be a reliable person. And so, one thing that you also have to realize is this, when you aren't emotionally detached during love bombing, you already know. Get what you can. And then when you quit getting what it is that you want, you just exit. Okay. And it's no love lost. You're able to walk away from the situation unscathed and you have things to show for it, right? That's the best predicament for you to, essentially be in. So you have to ask yourself. So, for example, let's say you meet this man, right? You meet this man, and let's say that he's an engineer, right? He claims that he's an engineer. And so he starts love bombing you. And he starts love bombing you with gifts. This is his form of making you feel special and things like that. You know how much an engineer makes. Like, let's just say, okay, he's an engineer. Let's just throw $150,000 out there annually. That's how much he's making, right? He's love bombing you. And, like, let's just use a very extreme, an extreme type of example. He's gonna love bomb you with a Louis Vuitton bag. Okay. So we're talking like a $2,500 bag that he is, gonna go on ahead and give you. Can this man buy you repeatedly, consistently $2,500 Louis Vuitton bags? Can he consistently take you out to Michelin star restaurants where he is spending $500 on you every single time that you go out? In most cases, no. Okay. This is just gonna be a good time. This won't be a long time because he won't be able to keep up with this lifestyle. He's just coming in hot to get you hooked right away. And women never stop to ask themselves, women never stop to think, wait, can he even maintain this? Can he even repeatedly make this happen and, and constantly do this over time? And so when you actually sit down and you ask yourself, it's like, okay, if it doesn't make sense as to why he's coming in hot like that, and you know that he would not be able to maintain that, you're being love bombed. He doesn't have a genuine interest in you. I'd be lying to my love bomber. When you're first texting a guy, how long should you wait for him to ask to take you out on a date? No longer than a week. No longer than a week. For me, that is a non negotiable. No person that is truly interested in meeting up with you face to face, getting to know you, spending time with you, shouldn't take longer than a week. I like time and energy over gifts. Even expensive gifts are a cheap show of affection. Exactly. And this is the reason why I'm always big on women. If you're going to date, you need to be dating intentionally. And the reason being is because all women are different. All women have different values. Some women are more materialistic than others. Some women value experiences over tangible items. Some women value having a very strong connection, very strong personal relations with a man. And so everyone is different in regards to what they really prioritize when it comes into a potential partner. And so, this is why you never should tell a man what it is that you're looking for. You should never ever tell a man what you're looking for, what you like, what you're interested in, because he could just shapeshift to become this man, right? He can easily, you're giving him the playbook. You're right. You're hand delivering him the playbook. Oh, she likes flowers, she likes gifts, she likes Michelin star restaurants, she likes a guy that's funny. Okay, cool. So now I know how to do everything so that way I can pretty much manipulate her and get this girl out of her panties. And then when I'm done using her, I'm done, it's done and dusted, and then I'm on to the next. To be clear, no love bombing text replies until after the noon hour, not until after my first several cups of Joe. Not too distracting. Listen, I have a cup of coffee right here because, like I said, your girl, Venus retrograde is not playing with me. Venus retrograde is definitely not playing with me at all. Okay, so back to where I was. So, part two. I want to talk about the science and the psychology of love bombing. So, why do men love bomb? Okay. Why are they doing this in the first place? Why are they trying to make you feel good? And then once they make you feel good, they walk away from you. Okay. It's a form of control. Men who are love bombing you, it should automatically be rooted in your head that this man is controlling. He is trying to set up a dynamic in order for you to be controlled. So when men tend to be very flashy, very performative with things such as their money, their knowledge, their looks, their tangible, such as their car or their house and things like that, always understand that these men they're leading with a form to eventually control you if you stick around. So that is the main intention as to why they're doing this. And love bombing is actually it's the most common manipulation tactic in abusive relationships. Okay. So this is why for a lot of women, a lot of people really don't understand when it comes to I'm just going to say the word AB because YouTube is weird about the words, but the thing about AB victims, a lot of people will not really understand, well, how do you get into this situation? And it's like, well, let's be honest, a man isn't smacking you upside your head the first day that he fucking meets you. If that were the case, no one would be a victim because that's not how it's happening. Okay, no one is saying up front, oh, I'm gonna slap you across the head whenever you do something that I don't like. No shit. You know what I mean? Of course. Let's get the likes up. We got 95 people in here. We got 95 people in here. I'm on the actual live stream on YouTube so I can see the likes. But y'all, I feel like I'm dropping a decent amount of knowledge. Let's go on ahead and hit the thumbs up. Let's go on ahead and hit the thumbs up. I think consistent behaviors are the only true reality of what a man is really about. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Consistency is the number one thing that you should always be. Here's the thing: realistic consistency. Let's not just even stop it at consistency. Realistic consistency. Can this man keep this up? Can he keep this up over time? Especially if this is a man saying that he wants to marry you, he wants to have a child with you, he wants to do X, Y, and Z. There needs to be a level of realistic consistency. So if you have to ask yourself, is this something that he can really do over a long period of time? Can he do this for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? If you ask yourself that question and you really feel like, okay, he can't do this over a long period of time, get away. An older man keeps begging to be my sugar daddy and keeps asking me to come to him for things. I refused for a long time, and then I finally asked him for something and nothing materialized. I walk away. Whenever men are begging you for something, okay, here's the thing. This is what you got to realize about men. They have the internet and they got this wonderful phone, okay? They got do not think twice that men are not on here watching Shearer 7 videos. Do not think that it's not men on the internet watching Shearer 7. Oh, they want a provider. They want someone to give them money. So what they'll do is they want you to be desperate. And this is the reason why, as a woman, you need to have your shit in order financially, because they want to dangle the carrot, and they can only dangle the carrot for someone that's desperate. They can only dangle the carrot for someone that is very male centered, someone that wants the ring, someone that needs money. And so what they're doing is they will give you a lot of lip service. Whenever a man is promising you stuff right away, he's full of shit. You would never promise someone things that you don't know. You would never offer someone money. Oh, I'll give you money. I'll pay your bills. I'll do this. I'll do that. You would never do that for a stranger. Never. You're gonna go up to a stranger on the street and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay your car note. Oh yeah, I'll pay your bills." No, you wouldn't. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't care. I don't care how many cute little text exchange messages that you guys have all had. You all are both strangers. So there would be no reason for any man to come in hot like that and actually do it. No, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, proof will always be in the pudding. Is the money in the account? Is the bill paid? Is the gift received? If it's not, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Will he make you chicken noodle soup from scratch when you have a sniffle? That is a great sign. Yes, inconveniencing a man. Who is this man when you inconvenience him? That is how you know who this man truly is. Tell him no, inconvenience him. Do those two things, you'll know exactly what type of man that you're with. So, what happens with love bombing is that when men want to flood you, they attempt to flood you with a lot of affection very quickly. Very, very quickly. So, this is why on social media, they want to do things like, all the little likes, tapping all the likes or whatever. And pretty much essentially, it's just the dependence. It's just the emotional dependence, essentially. That's really what it is. That's what they're looking for. They're pretty much looking at, oh, he liked my picture, or oh, he sent me a text message. Oh, he told me good morning, beautiful. Oh, he says he wants me to be his girlfriend, or he's gonna send me money, or he's gonna do this. These are all forms in order to get you emotionally dependent, before you realize who they really are. And this is why, as a woman, and I do plan to do a video on this is the reason why you have to be in control of your emotions. And you cannot just serve your emotions on a silver platter for any and everybody just because they give you attention, just because they're sending you a good morning text. Like, no, like that can't happen. Text should be used for "Are you there yet?" location scenarios. No good morning foolishness or "How's your day?" garbage. It's futile. I feel like this. I don't like small talk. I don't like small talk. So even for me, I'm just kind of like, what would be the basis of us having these type of texting conversations if we aren't actually using it to solve a problem, see one another, or have some type of like stimulating conversation, which even then I wouldn't even want to have a type of conversation like that via text message. Uh that's just my personal standard, but I just wouldn't see the point in that. In order for it to make sense, the conversations via text message need to be productive. It needs to have some sort of substance. I need so much help with controlling my emotions. I don't want to keep them bottled up. I want to find ways to release them. You can twerk. You can write in a journal. You can go outside and scream. Um, Let me think. You can do a voice memo note and just say exactly what you're feeling and just talk in your little voice memo notes if you don't like to work or write. Someone wrote workout. Um pretty much anything that releases energy, anything that expels energy. Okay? Um but yeah, I like to twerk. I like to twerk. Release that sacral chakra, girl. Release that sacral chakra tension, girl. If I feel like texting something emotionally charged, I type it out on my notepad. Exactly. I feel like before you ever put yourself in a predicament where you're going to emotionally dump on someone, you need to do it somewhere else first. So like you ever see oh, I remember I love that So Raven, okay? I still love that show to this day. And I remember the episode when Raven's mom was in law school and she had that professor that couldn't get on that he got on her goddamn nerves. And so she wanted to unleash on the professor. And her husband was like, don't do that. Like, don't unleash on the professor. Just going ahead and like write it down. And so she had her homework assignment in an envelope. And then she had the note that she wrote and talked shit about him in the envelope. And then it was Raven's job to give the envelope to the professor. And she ended up giving the envelope that had all her feelings written down about the professor on it. Totally off subject, but yeah. You don't know how to twerk, girl. Um, so pretty much when it comes to love bombing, it's really about your feelings, okay? I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, you'll never be love bombed when you should be the number one person that makes yourself feel the best. I'll repeat that. You should be the number one person that is able to allow yourself and make yourself feel the best. There should be no one else in this world that can make you feel better about yourself other than yourself. If there is anyone else in your world that you are relying on to make you feel better about you than you have lost all of your power. You are no longer in your essence to have control over your feelings, over your reactions, over your emotions, because you're pretty much allowing someone else to come in and say, oh, you know what? I want you to be happy today. So guess what? I'll do whatever I need to do to make you happy today. I want to piss you off today. So guess what? I'm going to do things to piss you off today. And so pretty much they got you on the puppet strings. They're your puppet master at this point when it comes to your emotions, your reactions, your feelings and how you view yourself. If you have never a day in your life ever looked in the mirror and complained about, something about yourself, and let's just say a man is like, oh, well, I don't like that, like your like just let's just say your boobs, for example. You've never had a complaint about your boobs within yourself, never. You've never been you feel like you're the perfect size, and a man will come in your life and be like, oh, they're too small or they're too big, and then you're sitting here racking your brain like, he doesn't like them. Maybe I should look into implants, or maybe I should do this. That means that essentially you didn't really like those things to begin with. You never really liked those things to begin with, because you truly liking those things about yourself, you would never allow someone to deter or kind of like manipulate or have a reason to make you second guess the things that you never had a problem with regarding yourself. So you will do things or feel like you need to do things to be the center of his universe. And so then what happens is once he pulls away, you'll do anything to be able to get that feeling back. Because, like I said before, you've put the power in this person's hands based off of your feelings. And so now you're the one reaching out. He used to send you good morning text messages, and now you're the one hitting him up. And then now you're overthinking. And now he has the power. The ball is now in his court. Love bombing is not necessarily gifts. I was LB'd with poems, composed songs, excessive compliments. In my opinion, he wanted to lock me down before I found out who he really was. Love bombing comes, like I said before, it comes in several different forms. Like I said, gifts, any form of affection, adoration, compliments. It's anything in excess. Anything in excess. Anything that would make the average normal human being feel good times 10. That is what love bombing is. Zumba classes taught me how to twerk. Watch a twerking tutorial. You need to write a book one day. Definitely one day in the future. Definitely one day in the future. Hold on, y'all. Give me like 2 seconds. It's hot in here. Get the likes up, y'all. Get the likes up. Go on ahead. Press the thumbs up for your girl. Press the thumbs up for your girl. I went through an ego death because I was love bombed. I'm telling you, that's the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because love bombing can really be detrimental. It really, really can mess up your mental and kind of like how you process your relations with other people, how your dating experiences and things like that. And so I just feel like it's a very important topic for women to understand and know. Um, Ladies, let me ask you this. Did you ever notice that once you really started catching feelings when you were getting love bombed, the moment you started catching feelings, the man kind of like all of a sudden became busy. The man all of a sudden things started happening. Oh, my mom is sick, or my niece, or this and that. It's like as soon as you like them, something starts happening. Something starts happening all of a sudden. Oh, I lost my job. I'm just going through a lot right now. That's like your number one sign. That's your number one sign. That's your number one sign to know that you're being love bombed. As soon as you start reciprocating that energy, they all of a sudden some random inconvenience happens. Now, the next part of this is going to be dopamine, okay? The dopamine addiction cycle. The reason why it's called love bombing is because pretty much It's essentially a drug. That's what dopamine is, okay? That's kind of what it signals off into your brain. So, whenever you're hit with dopamine, you get dopamine through having sex, eating chocolate, scrolling social media. Um, and essentially what it does is it creates an emotional high. It creates an emotional high in your brain. And so what happens is the brain will release dopamine, which is the feel good hormone. And we always release that hormone when we receive affection, when we receive validation, we get compliments, gifts. They'll sing to you. Someone said write poems, they'll send you long text messages, how they're thinking about you, yada yada yada. Every time this is happening, you are releasing dopamine in your brain. And so essentially, when that affection is taken away, your brain is going to crave it. Because it's essentially a drug. So this is the reason why the no contact, y'all know how hard it is to get through the no contact phase. When you um unfriend them on social media, you block their number, and even though you have them blocked on everything, you'll still pick up your phone and check your phone to see if they texted you. You're constantly checking, or you're constantly trying to stalk their social media because you want a hit of dopamine. You want to be able to get that high from the attention that they were giving you. And it's literally synonymous to you feeling like you are coming off of a drug. That's the reason why that time period of you going no contact, or the withdrawal period from you not being with that man anymore, it literally feels like you're addicted to a drug that you're having to come off of, because that's what it was. You had a lot of dopamine. So it'll be, I mean, I've definitely had like really just only one man in my life where I was like, "Ooh, shit, okay, the dopamine, like, kinda, like, hit a little bit hard," you know what I mean? Like, you just can't, it's really someone that you can't shake from. You can't shake from. You were really, really enmeshed with that person, and so it makes it very, very hard to overcome that. So we need a dopamine detox or a reset. How do we do it? Well, you need a dopamine detox reset from the person, but also in addition to that, there are things that you can do to reset your dopamine. Okay, but the thing about it is this. Um I personally, this is what I think is very helpful. You're already releasing, you're already or getting rid, you're already detoxing from going no contact with the person, right? Because the person was no longer, good for you. And so what you can do is you can also reset your you can detox from dopamine by resetting your habits, adopting new habits. So if you aren't eating clean and you just like you're eating a lot of sugar, things like that, reduce or cut out your sugar. That's a form of dopamine detox, or like taking a cold shower, dopamine detox, deleting a social media app, which is what I did today, dopamine detox. So taking away that distraction, but also replacing it with something else that you're going to use to improve your life, or it's making your life better. You know what I mean? So pretty much anything where it will be challenging but doable. You know what I mean? You need to at least add in one thing that you're doing to replace this in the meantime. You know what I mean? So that way you can keep your brain off of this person. If if you decide, okay, I'm going to go no contact with this person, and you are trying to live your life the same way, you're going to have a very hard time in the no contact period, because you aren't trying to do anything to improve your life in the meantime. So, like, one thing about me, if I have like a love bombing situation, and this was back when I had like a little bit more of like an emotional attachment in the very few moments that I had it per se. Um the thing about it is that as soon as we went no contact, I was like, okay, my goal is to go to the gym 5 days a week, or my goal is to meal prep, or my goal is to no longer eat fast food, or I'm gonna delete a social media app. That should be the first thing that you decide to do. You choose one thing to improve your life. Perfect. My recovery song is Rehab by Rihanna. My recovery song is G4L by Rihanna. Whenever I really, really want to like get through something, I fucking blast G4L by Rihanna. If you've never heard that song, you definitely should listen to it. I'm on detox right now and super excited about how much my life will benefit now that the toxic person is gone, but still. Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's hard, but I always like kind of like how you said, I just think of the future. Like if I'm hitting the gym, I'm thinking about me being on the beach in my bikini. I'm thinking about, if I'm doing my skincare routine, how my skin's going to be popping, how, with makeup, without makeup, my skin's going to be glowing, my skin's going to be beautiful, just thinking about the end result. Not See, the thing about it is that when you don't replace if you don't replace this person that has love bombed you and you go no contact, if you don't replace them with a habit to make yourself feel better, that means that that person is going to be they're going to take up more space in your mental. So then what happens is you're going to be thinking about, well, what is he doing? Who is he with? What's he posting? And then that's when you spiral and, you whip out your phone, you start stalking his social media, he starts living rent free in your head. I decided to focus on my skin, but I keep texting him SMH. He's blocked right now, though. Please keep him blocked. It's easier to detox if you get it going up front before all the emotional and sexual investment given. Choose wisely. This is the reason why it's very important to spot the signs early on. It's very, very important to spot the signs early on. That way, really the key to all of this, leave at the first red flag. Don't question, do not question don't question your reality. If he has said something that made you uncomfortable or said something that made you tense or said something that was offensive or made you uneasy, that is a sign that you should not be talking to this person anymore. So, back to, me going on about the dopamine addiction cycle. Men who love bomb understand that when they're love bombing you, they're spiking up your dopamine. And then when they're no longer dealing with you, you now have a withdrawal. Okay. I personally believe that men do not realize this on a conscious level. Um, I feel like there's some men that do it. I feel like most men do it subconsciously, but I also, come on, there's pickup artist books. You know what I mean? There's books all about manipulation, how to get women and things like that. Ooh, two new gourmand fragrances from Etsy: strawberry pound cake EDP and raspberry donut EDP. Mm. So the biggest thing, like the biggest thing with this phase of love bombing, you cannot give in. You cannot give in to texting him. You cannot give in to stalking his social media, DMing him, things like that. Um, this is important. Okay. This is very, very, very important. This is probably, I feel like, the hardest part when it comes to women and how they navigate after they've been love bombed is keeping their fingers off the goddamn phone and not pressing the buttons needed to text this man. This is why I always block the number and then delete the number out of my contacts list because I can't remember whose number is who. So if I go on ahead and block the number and then delete the contact, I won't have a way to text them. At least with Apple, you can do that. I won't have any way to contact them. I have to make it so that I have to make it so that I have no access to them. And then guess what? So if this happens to you and you're dealing with someone that has narcissistic tendencies, this still won't be enough. This still won't be enough to get rid of the person. Um I literally had someone and I had an ex and literally blocked number, cell and business number, blocked on social media, all social media forms, literally started sending me money on PayPal in order to send me messages. Literally started sending me emails in order to send me messages. So the thing about it is that if you've been loved bombed by a narc and in the meantime he got new supply and he has discarded that supply and he's having a hard time replenishing that supply, he will still go through leaps and bounds to be able to try to get access to you. And so this is also why it's very, very important that on an emotional and on a mental level, you have to be grounded and you have to be strong in making sure that you do not reach out. I always have to train my brain to this is I call it radical self-talk. I do. I call it radical self-talk because it honestly sounds a little bit crazy. But essentially, what I do is as soon as I get the thought or as soon as I get the feeling that I want to reach out to this man and I want to like break the no contact, I pretty much tell myself, you know, you're a weak bitch if you text him. You're not a baddie if you text him. You're not the prize if you text him. And I will just tell myself, and I'll be like, oh, damn, okay, I can't let that happen. I can't let that happen. So essentially, it gives me a sense of pride. And I make sure that I have a sense of pride. That way, it prevents me from making decisions that are not good for me because I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, you weak bitch, like you texted him. Like, you're not even a bad bitch. Like, I literally will tell myself, your bad bitch title will be revoked if you text him. And I know it sounds crazy. It kind of sounds a little bit crazy, but it works. It really does work. And so when you train your brain like that to have a sense of pride around how you view yourself and how your actions will reflect what it is that you do, you will be slower to make decisions that are not good for you. So I feel like that's very, very important. That's why I keep "Needed Me" on repeat after a separation. Yes, girl. It keeps him in perspective. I was good on my own, that's the way it was. Yes, that's another really good song. That's a really, really, really good song. You have to redirect your thoughts because it creates new neural pathways. The more you do, the easier it gets. Exactly. A lot of women's go to is, I can't live without him. I can't stop thinking about him. He's driving me crazy. It's just you're always saying what you cannot do. I can't get him off of my brain. I can't stop thinking about him. I can't live without him. You're saying everything that you can't do. Well, what can you do? You know what I mean? Instead of listing everything that you can't do without this man, what can you do? So you have to understand how to like shift your perspective and understand how to redirect your thoughts. That's so true. I would say being without him is torture, but that's not true. Yeah, it's not. It's not at all. And I also like to always remind myself too, um so there's a couple of things you have to remember too when it comes to like these certain dynamics. Um, so whenever like there's a separation, right? And like statistics and studies have actually shown this. Usually upon a separation happening, women tend to initially take the separation worse soon after the separation has happened, and men tend to take it worse further down the line. So this is the reason why it's very important for you to maintain no contact and not in hold it, because one thing I can guarantee you, like literally I could promise you, I would be willing to bet my life on this. Okay? I'd be willing to bet my life on this. A man, as long as you have even a smidgen of the door open to be able to get access to you, at some point, it may be 2 months from now, it may be 2 years from now, it may be 10 years from now. He will pry the door open to have access to you again. Like 100%. He will try to find a way. He will find a way to have access to you again. And you were so great. You were the one that got away, yada yada yada. He will come up with all of these reasons to try to reel you back in later because then he starts hurting. He starts sitting down and thinking like, "Damn, like I'm lonely. I don't have anyone. I'm not. No one is dealing with me." Da da da. Da. So he will just circle around to all of the women that he dealt with in the past. So I always give myself comfort knowing that they're always going to come back anyway. And so then when I just sit back and then they come back around, now I have the power, because they let you go and discarded you, and they've had the power this whole time. As soon as they come back around, balls in your court. You got the power now. And so now you can sit back and laugh, and now you can, twiddle your thumbs and think, how am I gonna play this? How am I gonna play this? Am I gonna kill him with silence and just never respond to him? Am I gonna manipulate him? Am I going to use my leverage to demand money? There are a ton of different things that you can do to now play this how you want it to play in your favor, because now you have the power. And so I talk about that a lot on my Patreon, how to use certain things in a dynamic of power where you can use your leverage to, gain you some type of benefit from their fuck up. I told him no clown emojis. He fucked up and found out. Always remember, men are not emotional like we are. They're more logical. So thinking that they will care or be concerned because you got the good won't work. They move on expeditiously. Exactly. Exactly. I think a lot of women really do try to rely on the fact that they believe that men have the emotions like we do. They don't. Do they have emotions? Yes, but they're just going to shelve them like they are. They're just going to shelve them. Let's see. Have you guys ever been in that phase? Like, have you guys ever been in that phase before where you've been communicating with someone, or maybe you've been going out with dates for someone, and you become so addicted to that person where it's like you almost get anxious when it comes to like if they're going to respond or not, if they're going to make a plan to see you again. I also really do feel like those are two very clear indicators that there was probably some type of love bombing dynamic. Once you start gaining anxiety over if someone's going to reach back out to you, you should just walk away. Okay? You should walk away as soon as you have that feeling. That's a really dangerous spot to be in, a very dangerous spot to be in. Anyone that would ever kind of have you in limbo like that, if with you wondering if they're going to contact you or not, uh after you all had a date or anything like that. Yeah, that, I mean, honestly, straight up, like, that's just abuse. That's 100% abuse. Don't ever block that person immediately. Never talk to that person again. I've dated men who admitted to breaking up with other women because they weren't emotional. I know it's because they didn't take their shit. Exactly. Like I said before, men, you not being able to show any emotions as a woman, you really will screen through a lot of dudes quicker. A lot. A lot of dudes quicker. All right. So, um there is a connection, there's a connection, the avoidant narcissist connection. Most love bombers have one of two traits, and sometimes even both traits. So, avoidant attachment styles. I feel like majority of men do have avoidant attachment styles. If you're not familiar with attachment styles, pretty much it was done through babies. Okay, so this is the reason why the attachment style theory, it it's not really applicable 100% to real life as adults, because these studies were done on babies, and so essentially it's based off of their relationship with their mother when they were young children. So, someone anxious attached would be they're with mommy leaves, they start crying to get mommy back. That's anxious attachment. Avoidant attachment is they're with mommy, they're kind of chilling without mommy leaves, they're okay, and then mommy comes back, and they're just kind of like, mm-mm, I'm cool, I'm cool. And then secure attachment would be they're with mommy, mommy leaves, they're okay, mommy comes back, they're okay. They're happy to see mommy, they're cool to see mommy. That would be a secure attachment style. So, most men are going to have an avoidant attachment style. So, they enjoy the time that when you're there, they enjoy the time with you. You leave, you come back, I don't want to deal with you anymore. And so what happens is they will kind of chase a connection, but then they will panic when they like actually get the connection with someone. And then next is narcissism, narcissistic traits. I have a whole video on narcissists. I'll have to add it to the end screen once this live is over and it's actually uploaded and saved. Pretty much when it comes to the narcissist, they love the ego boost, okay? They are there for validation. So, what they're looking for is essentially a return on their investment through validation. So, these are the type of men that they will compliment you. They'll do all of the love bombing because in return, they want you to tell them, "Oh, you're so perfect. I never met a man like you." These are the type of men where they're hoping like, "Oh, okay, doing all these things." You know what I mean? Doing all these things for you. Are you doing all those things for them? In getting the ego boost from those things. So, oh, she told her parents about me, she told her friends about me, she's telling everyone how great of a guy that I am. You're boosting up their ego, but they're not emotionally available. They're just doing all of these things to get a return on their investment because they need validation. And, I know someone mentioned Dr. Ramani, before on one of my live streams, but, I mean, I'm sure most people are familiar with her, but she is, like, a leading expert on narcissistic relationships, and, she has said multiple times that, narcissists, they really do like to use love bombing as a way to secure admiration before emotionally withdrawing, because for narcissists it's not really a situation where they are going to see people as people. This is the reason why, when it comes to narcissists, they like to refer to the people that they're dealing with as supply, because that's really what it is. It's just a supply of dopamine, it's a supply of validation. And then once they feel as though they've gotten enough of that from you, they will discard you and then go on to, their next victim, essentially. They are. Narcs are very, very insecure. This is the reason why they have to bounce around from person to person to person to person and use everyone as supply, because essentially, they kind of look at people. I kind of think of it like, players cards, like collectors cards. So, a long not a long time ago, I'm not trying to make it seem as if like we're dinosaurs, but back in the day, playing cards and you like trading cards and collectors cards, it was really a big deal, right? And there were some cards that kind of like had more value than other cards. And so essentially what the narcissist, what I mean, is doing, he will, gain this card, he'll get this card and like, oh, well, now I got this nice shiny card. And then that card loses value. So, okay, I'll go on ahead, trade that card. Oh, well, I got a nice new shiny card. And then it's just wash, rinse, repeat. They will go on ahead and just keep on doing this. And yeah, secure attachment was the original study was centered around babies. It was centered around babies. That's the reason why I have an issue. That's the reason why I have an issue with it being used in the application of adults, because the study was based upon babies. So yeah. It's also important to date several men at a time so you're not caught up with just one. I'm currently dating 5 men. Not one of them are any more special than the other. And that is very, very important. Um, I think a lot of this has to do with societal conditioning, in my opinion, because essentially, as women, you're pretty much trained to be loyal. You're pretty much trained to have one interest that you are dealing with, and you should be putting your all into that interest. You should be giving your full undivided attention to that one interest. And so what happens is you end up making a lot of investment, especially early on. The number one investment is typically an emotional investment that you make. And this is the reason why the method of just focusing on one person, it doesn't work. And this is the reason why I've never done it. I've always had a roster, because just think about it. How much emotional investment can you have in 4 to 5 different men? You can't have that much. Like, you as a person, there's only so much capacity that you have to be able to emotionally pour into that many people. And then also, it's the aspect of understanding, well, it gives you a sense of pride. And I say this, that, women have to understand how to form pride, and women also have to understand how to have a little bit of an ego, because pride will no ego will straight up say, you know what, this guy has started fucking up, it's cool, I got 3 other guys that I'm talking to, so it's really not that big of a deal. If you were only talking to that one guy that fucked up, then you would be sitting here like, what's wrong with me? Why did he quit texting me? How come he's not talking to me anymore? Why did he ghost me? And it's like, you would never be having to deal with that if you were dealing with multiple men. You would just move on to the next man at that point, because you're occupied with other men. Why would you care about one man not liking you when you got 4 other men that are interested in you? It's science. How do you deal with men, especially when sleeping with them? How can you not be attached during X? So this is the biggest thing. If you have to have boundaries, okay? If you are not committed to a man that you are sleeping with, you really should only be seeing the bedroom. Imma keep it real with you. Once you start teetering between things that you would do in a relationship, and then you add the bedroom into it, you're in very, very, dangerous territory. And the reason being is because having both should be coming with commitment. You know what I mean? And so I it has to be all or nothing. Okay. You don't get to do the girlfriend boyfriend things in addition to having sex with someone and you have no title. You cannot do that. So the way that I like to operate is, if you're just sleeping with someone and you're just there for the bedroom fun, you shouldn't even be texting them. You shouldn't even be caring about their day to day. You shouldn't, because you only want to be there for what's happening in the bedroom. So why would it matter what they're doing? Why would it matter who they're hanging out with? You have to limit your conversation with the person. Once you start texting them, caring about their day, caring about what they're doing, you're building an emotional attachment. So, like, I currently have this situation. I've been dealing with this guy for like a year, and I've never once given a fuck about who he's dealing with or who he's sleeping with, because sometimes we check in and like we kind of like have conversations, but I would say 90% of the time, I'm only hitting this guy up to sleep with this guy. That's it. That's all. We're not going out on dates. We're not going out to eat, because that's what I specifically have this man for. Women have to be comfortable slotting men for what they're good for. That's what men do with women. Men slot women all day. Oh, okay. I know that I can call her at 2 p.m. and she's gonna come over. Oh, I know that she's a good woman to be with for my business meetings or business events. She cleans up nice. She's real classy. Da, da, da. Oh, I know that this woman is good. You know, for all different types of things. You have to be able to compartmentalize. So the man that is being emotionally unavailable towards you, that's really not the man that you should be dealing with when it comes to like texting him a lot or going out to dinner with him or going out on dates. The man that's emotionally available, it really should just be for recreational use only, because he's not going to be able to give you anything else. It's not. And then, even with men that give you money or men that provide for you, okay, well, he can provide for you and you don't have to give him your emotions. all you have to do is stroke his ego. You know what I mean? He'll be some old man. He's lonely. He's crusty. He's old. He's wrinkly. He just wants someone to make him feel young again. He just wants someone to boost up his ego and make him not feel so down on his life. So that and he gives you money for that. So then that's going to be the man that you have in that slot. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yes, I have something I have to gain from each of my men. That's how it should be. Um yeah, that's how it should be because at the end of the day, um even Kevin Samuels complained about this. This is how you know that it's beneficial to women. Anything that men complain about, they complain about it because it's beneficial to women. So I remember when Kevin Samuels was talking about monsters and how modern women like to create monsters out of men. And so what he pretty much was saying was on Frankenstein, he took multiple pieces of different bodies to be able to create Frankenstein. And so essentially, when you have a roster and you start slotting men for what they're useful for, essentially you're making one big Frankenstein. And that's what you should do because there's never going to be one person that's going to be the whole picture for you. There's never going to be one person that can D you down and give you money and be emotionally available. And do all the things. You're never going to find one person that's going to do all of those things. So you might as well have your own little mix here of the qualities that you value, three or four qualities that you really, really value, and you just find a particular man that has that one value. And then here's the thing, too. This is another way that you could do it. Even if you have one thing that you value, like if you're sprinkle and you're only about the money, you don't care about shit else, you still have a roster because guess what? It's easier. I always say it's easier for you to be able to get a hundred. You could get $100 if you let's just say you need $100. All you gotta do, you can just ask $25 from four different men. You can ask for $25 for four different men, and you can have $100. And you can up that price as high as you want and divide it between those different men. Instead of asking one man for $1,000, divvy up that $1,000 between four different men. Perfect. Now, for the third part, also don't forget to thumbs up, okay? Get the likes up. We got 141 people in here. We should at least be at like 90 likes. We should at least be at 90 likes, ladies. Hit that thumb for me. Hit that thumb for me. Thank you. Um so the third part, okay? So after they love bomb you, why are they pulling away? Why did they just up and decide I'm gonna pull away from you now after I done spent money on you. I done took you out to nice places. I done had you meet my friends. I done had you meet my family. Why are they now all of a sudden deciding to pull away from you? So there are a few examples as to why men will vanish after love bombing you. The first reason is because they never liked you. They never liked you in the first place, okay? Um, I kind of feel like this. As women, as women, we have to learn how to stop taking things so personal because what happens is a lot of women when men pull away like this, a lot of women start questioning themselves. What have I done? What have I said? What is wrong with me? It's nothing that you did. It's absolutely nothing that you did. This man never liked you in the first place. This man was just playing the game and just doing what he had to do in order to get some validation. Because another thing about men is that men don't get any validation. Men are very, very validation starved. Like, there literally was a woman, I can't remember her name, but rest in peace to her. There literally was a woman who she did an experiment. She did an experiment where she pretty much cosplayed as a man for a certain amount of time and she offed herself. She unalived herself because of how horribly society had treated her. Men are invisible. Okay, men are invisible, point blank period. They don't get any attention, they don't get any compliments. No one cares about them. They don't really have any friends like that. They don't have anyone. And so, as a woman, you also have to realize that in order for men to get acknowledgement, in order for men to get noticed, men have to create artificial means. Men have to create artificial means in order for this to happen, meaning that they will love bomb you. They will love bomb you because of the fact that they need some sort of validation. Because when they're doing all these things for you, aren't you complimenting them? Aren't you telling them great things about themselves? Aren't you saying things to make them feel better about themselves? Exactly. You're giving them the one thing that they do not get on a regular basis. So that's the reason why they're doing it. They're not doing it because they actually like you. They just want to get validation for a change. So, like, I will compliment a man. If I see a man that's like really attractive, I will compliment him. I have no problem telling an attractive man, "You look handsome," or "I like your outfit," or anything like that. No matter what man or woman, I'm always going to give credit, where credit is due. But always understand that men aren't out here getting attention. They're not. They're not out here getting attention. They're not out here getting validation. They're not out here getting schmecks. They're not getting any of that. So you have to realize that men have to go to great lengths to be able to get that. That's the reason why men will always be upset and like be very self-loathing when they're like, I'm only appreciated for what I can provide. They get very, very mad at the fact that society and patriarchy has created a setup where men are only appreciated for what it is that they can provide as opposed to who they are as people. Now, that's a whole nother subject for conversation, but yeah. The second reason, they needed an ego boost. Like pretty much like what I just explained to you. They needed someone to boost their ego. Ain't no women going out of their way to compliment them. Ain't no come on. Are women sliding in men's DMs? Are women commenting on average men's pictures and thirsting after them and hearting their stories and doing all that? No. Are men going out and a pretty girl and a really pretty girl sees him and buys a drink for him and gets the drink sent over, or a woman that he's attracted to will pay his tab? No. As a woman, we get a lot of perks due to our beauty. Due to men being attracted to us. And so this is also why for a lot of men it's very, very easy for there to be jealousy. It's very easy for there to be jealousy. And the reason being is because men have always been told that they're the prize, they're the value, it's a man's world, yada, yada, yada. But in real life, it's not like that. In real life, it is not like that at all. Men will simp all day to talk to a woman, be near a woman, smell a woman, sleep with a woman. They will stop at nothing. They will pay a woman to be able to do all these things. The third reason, and this goes back to what I said earlier. They realized that they cannot maintain the fantasy that they have created. So this is why I say it's very, very important for you to stay two steps ahead as a woman. So if he's told you what his job profession is, he's told you his salary, has he gotten is he recently divorced? Does he have children? You have to factor in all of these things. And this is the reason why, as a woman, when you are dating, you got to listen more than you talk. You got to learn to open up your ears and shut your mouth and not say anything to keep him talking. so that you can get more information from him. This is what men do on dates. This is the reason why men tend to be a little bit more quiet, because they want you to talk and talk and talk and ramble. That way they can gather more information. When you're dealing with men, the person that is talking the most is always going to be the most vulnerable. Always remember that. The person, when you're dealing with a man, when you're dealing with heterosexual dynamics, the person that is talking the most is always going to be the most vulnerable. So once he's telling you all of these things, like the example that I mentioned earlier. Oh, he's an engineer. He's making $150,000. And early on, he's out here buying you a Louis Vuitton bag. He's over here buying you a Movado watch. He's over here paying for this or paying for that, and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, okay, he is an engineer making $150,000. Do you really, and let's just say he's divorced with two kids, do you really believe that he is going to be able to maintain this if you are with this man for 2 years, for 5 years, for 10 years? In most cases, no. And so what happens is this is when women get upset because, for instance, a man will come to you and be like, "You don't have to work anymore. Quit your job. I will provide for you. I will take care of you. I will pay all your bills. Don't worry about it." And then 6 months, it'll be 6 months to a year down the line. And all of a sudden, he can't do it anymore. It's because he couldn't do it in the first place. He could not do it in the first place. He jumped the gun. And so now his monies are running short, and now he's over here saying, "Oh shit, I can't, I'm not, you're gonna have to go back to work." And so now you're like, "Well, what the fuck?" Like what? Like, yeah, it's because he's realized he can't maintain the fantasy that he has painted for you. He can't really maintain this provider mindset like he tried to portray. Let's get the likes to 100. Going ahead and click the thumbs up for me, please. Just 3 more. Oh my God, there was a girl in New York who only ate the food on new dates every day. Are men allowed in the chat? I'd love to help. Help from a male perspective, Gene. If a man has children and he's making under 300, 400K, good luck, honey. Exactly. Exactly. If that man has children and he's not in that upper tier of making money, you could forget about it. Hear that, Gene? Listen more, speak less. I'm hollering. I am hollering. Times have changed. 100K don't cut it. Not at all. 100K, 100K is the equivalent of $100 bill these days. 100K won't do much of anything. Exactly. Relationships where the man loves the woman more than the woman loves the man. That's how it should be. I always say the man has to be worshiping you, point blank period, because a true man's going to know the value of a woman, point blank period. He's going to know the value of a woman. Why introduce a woman to a life you couldn't afford in the first place? Exactly. On a logical basis, it honestly makes no sense. Like, honestly, it really makes no sense. But a lot of them, they like the ego boost from it. Like, they like the fact that, you're doting all over them. You're all happy, you're smiley, you're this, you're that. They're very, very happy over that. And so essentially, they want to get more of that. Even like one time, I had a guy and like we had a date. It was like maybe our second or third date. And what did we do for the first? Oh, I was real young. Like I was, this was maybe about 8 or 9 years ago. And I did gymnastics, so I knew how to like tumble, and I actually really enjoyed going to the trampoline park. So we went to the trampoline park. And so that was like the first part of our date. And then we went out to get food, and that was the second part of our date. And then we went to like this local bar, and that was the third part of our day. Y'all, why the card decline at the bar? Why the card decline at the bar? And I'm like, see, you doing too goddamn much. Ain't nobody tell you to do all this shit. Y'all, yes, we had to send the shots back. We had to send the goddamn shots back. He over here, wait, wait, let me check my bank. Let me check my bank account. Oh, can we send the drinks back? Girl, nah, he ain't have another card. We legit had to send the drinks back. I was like, see, you doing shit you ain't got no business doing. Ain't nobody asked you to do all this shit. I would have been cool with the trampoline park and some food after. You ain't have to do all of that. Night would have been over exactly. That is my worst fear. That and a man running out on the bill. I had a constant account checker, annoying AF. You don't need to be dating, sir, girl. And that was it. I didn't even have to exit stage left. He exited stage left. He exited stage left from the situation completely. He knew it was no coming back from that. We never talked again after that. He knew not to hit my ass up. He knew. Okay. So next, we're going to talk about how to protect yourself, okay? How to protect yourself from love bombers, okay? And essentially how you can stop falling, for this trap. And it's kind of like what I had said earlier, if things are feeling too good too fast, like don't ever question that thought of this is too good to be true. Okay. When you start thinking this is too good to be true, bitch, it's because it's too good to be true. It's because it's not true. It's a lie. It's a lie, I tell you. It is 100% a lie. So when you start having that thought in your head, don't ignore it. Okay. It really is too good to be true. I'm telling you. The next is you have to control your emotional investment. As a woman, your emotions are currency. Okay? Your emotions are an investment. Your emotions are something that you just don't give that off to anybody or for any reason or for anything. You need to have very, very high standards on when it comes to who you are emotionally investing in and what it takes to get you emotionally invest. It's women out here emotionally investing from fucking good morning text messages. Like that's all it takes. That's all it takes. And these will be the same women. You can't fucking crack them. You can't even pry them open with information in a therapy session. They go to a therapy session and don't want to reveal nothing. But a man will send them a good morning text message, and all of a sudden she ready to reveal her trauma. She ready to reveal every goddamn thing. And it's like, no. What are we doing? What are you doing? You shouldn't be that easy when it comes to you just giving out your emotions, because that's the number one thing men are looking for. Okay? They're looking for what's in between your legs, and then in addition to what's in between your legs, they're looking for you to give them your emotions. This is the reason why you cannot react. You cannot react to men emotionally. You can't. You really do have to do your best to just be like, you know what? And I talk about this on Patreon. The person that walks away first wins. Okay. The person that can throw in the towel first wins. That's the person that has the most power. You have to be afraid. You have to not be afraid of walking away. You have to not be afraid of being the one that says, "You know what? I don't wanna do this anymore. I wanna end this. Mm-mm, this ain't for me." You have to be okay doing that. Because if you sit here and you try to justify what's happening, you're constantly giving justifications, you're constantly giving reasons, you're constantly making up excuses. You're putting yourself in a predicament and you're digging yourself a deeper and deeper and deeper hole for you to be investing in your emotions and for you to essentially be getting hooked to this man who really doesn't have any good intentions for you in the first place. Exactly. Get out while you can. And the biggest thing is that the earlier, the better. I always tell women, women always want to look for what a man is doing right. And that's terrible advice. You should never be navigating dealing with a man looking for what he's doing right. Because that's what his game is. A man's game is to make sure that he's doing everything right. Why would someone approach you? Why would someone talk to you and just straight up tell you, "Oh yeah, so my intentions are to give you gifts and to give you compliments and to sing to you and write poems and do all this stuff. And then once I notice that you like me, I'm going to quit doing it so then that way you can start texting me and chasing me and being obsessed with me. That way I feel better about myself. Are you okay if I do that to you?" No man is ever going to tell you that. No man is ever going to just outright say, "Oh, this is my plan to manipulate you." They're going to do everything perfect. They're going to do everything that you are looking for them to do. And so, this is the reason why you have to go in looking and waiting for them to fuck up. If you do it the opposite, you're going to get manipulated every single time. You are going to be prime victim for being used and discarded as if you're a nobody and not even be an afterthought with no remorse after because you're too busy over here looking for everything that he's doing right. When in reality, everything that he's doing right is just really an act. It's not real. It's just performative in order for him to get what it is that he wants from you. The thing is, I don't wanna hide how I feel about people. I used to hide my feelings as a survival tactic. I don't wanna go back there. So I usually don't deal with men or cut them off. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. There isn't. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And here's the thing, I have no problem hiding my feelings, but you'll know how the fuck I feel after when I'm discarding you. Point blank period. I won't hide my feelings, but you would have been discarded by the time you know how I felt about you. You'll be out the picture already. Cuz they always come back around. So it's like, okay, you fucked up. I don't want to deal with you anymore. I cut you off and then you try to hit my line 6 months later. Okay, well then that's when I'm going to start expressing my feelings on how I feel about you. Cuz you got the nerve to come back. If you think you about to circle back around and I'm not going to call you out on your behavior or not express my feelings about you, you got another thing coming. They don't have the self-awareness to even know they are terrible. Exactly. Women like it when I show Women like it when I show I like them. It's very nice. Yeah. Exactly. You cannot be impressed easily. You can't. When you're easily impressed, when you're easily impressed, you are I just think of being easily impressed of, like, being a homeless person. Like, honestly. You honestly should frame it like that in your brain, you know? When you are a woman that's easily impressed, you should look at yourself as if you're homeless. Like, "Oh my god, I got a sandwich today. Someone on the street gave me a sandwich today." Well, of course, someone giving you a sandwich is like the best thing in the world when your ass is sleeping in a tent on the cold concrete with dirty clothes. So, of course, you having low standards is synonymous to you being homeless, like when you really think about it. Like, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yes, make your emotions expensive. No one can get them. Stop reacting so easily and quickly. Exactly. I always like to think of it like this. Every You giving a man accomplishment, that costs money. You giving a man advice, that costs money. You thinking about a man when he's not in your presence, that costs money. You doing favors for a man, that costs money. Those are all forms of emotional currency. Those are literally all forms of emotional currency that you are using that does not benefit you, and it will not be reciprocated in most cases. A man will not give you those things back. But aren't we supposed to make them feel appreciated? This is what you do. And you're on my Patreon. So the thing about it is this. Appreciated for what? Appreciated for what? Because my thing is this is where it comes in with standards. So when you show, and there's levels of appreciation, right? How are you going to show your appreciation? Because there's levels to how you're going to show your appreciation. So, for instance, I could show appreciation and say thank you. And I will say thank you for you doing the bare minimum. I will say thank you for doing shit that you're supposed to do. But when it comes to men, it's like you have to train them like a dog. So essentially, your appreciation should really just be multiple levels of positive reinforcement. So, you know, you take me out to dinner. Okay, thank you. You do a favor for me. Thank you. That's the bare minimum. You buy me roses. Thank you. Now, based off of what it is that you want, like based off of what it is that you consider top tier standard as to what a man as to what you want from a man, then you up the ante on how you're going to show your appreciation. So let's just say it's something, we'll just use something monetary, for example. If he does something for you monetarily, and this is the reason why you gotta, when it comes to, as a woman, you should know what your gifts are. You should know what your gifts are. What can you leverage? All women can leverage the thing in between their legs. That's the number one thing that you can leverage as a woman. So, in addition to that, there needs to be other things that you know about yourself that you can leverage to get what it is that you want. So, when it comes to your form of appreciation, if he's done something, he paid the mortgage. He paid your mortgage. Y'all don't live together. He paid your mortgage for the month. You should have something in your arsenal that you ain't whipped out before to show your appreciation. So, lingerie or some new trick in the bedroom or some new game, or you incorporate food, because men like novelty. Men like things that are new. Men like things that excite them. Men like surprises. And so what you're pretty much doing, it's like how you train a dog. You have to associate a good behavior with a reward. You paid my mortgage. You paid my mortgage this month. So because of that, you get outlandish sex. You get the lingerie. I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna do a lap dance for you. That is your reward, because you haven't done it yet. You haven't done any of that yet. So he's gonna be like, wow, this is what I get for paying your mortgage. Like, I didn't know you could even do this. He's gonna be like, what? Exactly. Here is a dark doggy treat. Here you go, boy. That's a good boy. Exactly. And so then you would do the opposite. You would do it with negative reinforcement. No kitty for you, or I'm nope, you can cook for your own self today. This is why women put men in the doghouse. That's negative reinforcement. When the man does something that the woman doesn't like, she makes the man sleep on the couch. They call the couch the doghouse. That's negative reinforcement for a unfavorable action that the man has done. All right. So then the third part of how you're going to protect yourself, you have to notice when a man is inconsistent. As soon as as soon as there's a change, as soon as there is an inconsistency, that's it. That's it. That's all. There is nothing else to discuss. You should be done with this. You should be done with this man. Okay? They're switching up on you on purpose because they want to pretty much be on the abandonment stage of the love bombing. And so you have to peep this early and walk away as soon as possible. You have to walk away as soon as possible once they have reached a level of inconsistency. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? You're going to stick around and you're going to start trying to jump through all of these hoops to get him to revert back to who he was in the love bombing phase. And this is where women always mess up. This is where women always overstay their welcome because you didn't leave once he became inconsistent. And because by this point, you've been exploited emotionally, you have allowed yourself to get attached emotionally. You want that old thing back. You want the good morning text messages. You want the dates planned. You want the roses. You want all of these things back. And so now you're chasing, you're texting him, you're asking your girls about him, you're asking his friends, oh well, have you seen so and so? You're throwing out subliminals on social media, you're stalking his social media, you're doing all of this stuff because you're too far, you're in too deep at this point. So you just want to leave. You just want to leave before you even get to this point. So don't sit here, do not sit here and stay longer than you need to stay. As soon as you see, like, listen, for example, it was a guy that I was dating and I knew he was love bombing me. I knew he was love bombing me, but I'm like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So I'm chilling. I'm not getting emotionally attached to this guy. I'm gonna just sit here and reap the benefits until the benefits run out. And all it took was something as small as for him to ask me to meet him up somewhere because he would pick me up. He would always pick me up. He would always pick me up. And I knew damn well we live like a half an hour away, 35 minutes away from each other. There's no way that he's always going to pick me up, drop me off, and then still go back to his house. He's not going to constantly do this. This is not going to be the norm. There is no way that a man is going to regularly dedicate taking up to 90 minutes driving to deal with me and to pick me up. As soon as that man asked me to meet him up at the restaurant that we had planned to go to, I said no. No. Mm-mm. Uh-uh. That's it. That's my sign. That's how small these signs are. Because that's what inconsistency is, right? Inconsistency is a break in behavior. It's a break in behavior. Because I knew he was doing something that he could not maintain. You cannot maintain that. So that's why I said when men start off doing shit and you're not questioning and asking yourself, can they keep this up? Can they realistically keep this up? You have to ask yourself that. If it don't make sense for them to do this over the next year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, the days are numbered of him doing it. I value my nervous system. The moment I feel uneasy, I will fall off the face of the planet. I hate games. Exactly. I have zero tolerance for my nervous system being dysregulated. Okay? And when you are a woman who is in tune with your body and you understand the feelings and the sensations and all of that things that you get pitted deep in you and you are aware of your visceral responses to things, you won't play these types of games because you will know your body so well. You don't want to revisit those feelings. You don't want to revisit the anxiety that comes along with, oh, is he going to text me back? Is he actually gonna do the plans that he we said that we were gonna do? Is he actually gonna hit me up like he said that he was gonna do? Once you start having a freak out about if a man is going to make good on his word, you have to walk away. You have to leave. No one that was really interested in you, no one that really values you would ever have you questioning or guessing if they're gonna reach out to you or when they're gonna reach out to you. That's mm-mm. Why didn't you want to meet him at a restaurant? Because we did not start our relationship with me meeting him at the restaurant. It's that simple. Because he did not start off the relationship with us meeting at the restaurant. I don't care about meeting up at the restaurant. That's not the issue. That's not the issue. My issue is that you are starting off you are starting off doing something that you cannot maintain. Because what'll happen is it starts off very small. And so this is the reason why you have to be very careful because this can become a very slippery slope. Because the way men look at it, okay, I asked her to drive to the restaurant, so she contorted to that. She contorted to that, and so then what'll happen next? He'll find another thing to take a step down from. Oh, so then that's how it turns into, oh, well, he's paying for all the dates. Well, now you going 50-50 on the dates because you went on ahead and you decided, oh, okay, well, it was okay for him to pick me up. And now all of a sudden he's gonna have me drive to the restaurant. And so they will slowly start picking other things to make you go on ahead and dumb it down and water it down because you're so emotionally attached to them. So you rather hold on to the man and hold on to your emotional attachment to the man before you start realizing I'm having to do more work. I'm having to do more work to keep this guy around. But because you're so emotionally into it, you're not clocking this. This is how when women end up in like 30, 40-year marriages and then they don't realize it until after they got a divorce. This is how it started. This is how it started. And it might have not even been on a monetary level. It's him complimenting you. And then it goes from him complimenting you, and it goes from you're getting a compliment, and then he criticizes you. And you don't check his ass the first time. Oh, so now my ass is fat. Well, you had no problem. You have never had any problems with my ass being fat when you're sleeping with me, when you're looking at it from behind. Now all of a sudden my ass is too fat. I haven't gained a single pound and now my ass is fat. If you don't clock it the first time, they're always going to remember what you allow. They literally start doing things and saying things just to test you and figure out what it is that you will allow. And once you allow one thing, men tend to know, then you'll allow something else and you'll allow something else. This is why as a woman, your words carry no weight. The ultimatums carry no weight. They carry no weight because at the end of the day, you're talking, but you're still here. You're still in the relationship. And this is the reason why a lot of men don't take women seriously when they say, I'm going to leave you, I'm going to divorce you, I'm going to this and that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. They're not going to take you seriously because you don't put your money where your mouth is. And so this is the reason why men will literally challenge you. Men will literally challenge you and you'll be like, "You know what? That's it. I don't want to be with you anymore." Well, then leave. And you're like, yeah, he just called your fucking bluff and you failed. You failed. Men literally will be waiting for you to give them a reaction like that just to call your bluff, just to know and just for you to prove to them you're full of shit. You're not going anywhere. You're going to let me keep treating you like this and you're not going to say anything about it. I started with, "Will you hold my back for me?" He conceded if he were to ever renege on that, it's a deal breaker. Why are all these women asleep? It's so sad. Thanks for waking me up. Oh my God. Of course. But I don't want any man to know my address. Did I like him? I liked the things he did for me. I liked the things he did for me. Um, it he was someone from my town, and so we had enough mutual friends for me to vet him well enough for, like, me to feel comfortable with him. So that really wasn't an issue just because, like, we knew enough people for it to kinda make sense. But like I said, I already knew he was love bombing me, and like I said, I honestly, I wasn't even really attracted to him. I wasn't even really attracted to him, if I'm being honest. But he was like buying me things and doing things for me and like being nice to me. So I was like, you know what? Oh, well, who cares? I wish I knew of your channel 3 years ago. Well, if you knew of it 3 years ago, it wouldn't have existed because my channel is really new. So you're here at the perfect time anyway. Just have fun with it. Doesn't have to all end in marriage, does it? Exactly. The biggest thing is that women I feel like this. Um it's nothing wrong with being intentional, right? There's nothing wrong with being intentional. But you also have to understand that with your intention has to come realism. You know what I'm saying? So you might have the intention of becoming a millionaire, but you also have to have the realistic understanding that you're probably not going to be a millionaire in a year. So you kind of have to look at it when it comes to things such as marriage or commitment or things like that. You know what I mean? Um men aren't waking up and being like, "Oh my god, I can't wait until I have one vagina for the rest of my life." Men aren't thinking like that. Men are not thinking like that. Men are not happy go lucky over the thought of commitment. Most men hate the idea of commitment. Most men only commit out of obligation. They're old, they're ugly, no one likes them. Most men are not out to commit. They're not given the same type of like story as like women. And so I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like, um, you have no choice but to have fun with it because men aren't looking to commit in the first place. And in most cases, when you're going out on all of these dates, these men, you're over here, you'll be getting ready for a date thinking, I hope he's the one. Oh my God, I hope he seems like he's the one. He looks like he's someone that I could marry. I hope this date goes well. You're over here having these thoughts 2 hours before the date, getting ready before the date. This guy got ready 15 minutes before he had to leave for the date and he's like, "Man, I just hope I could smash." I just hope I could smash. I just hope I could clap some cheeks. Okay? That's 100% what he's thinking. Point blank period. In marriage, I feel like it is more beneficial for the man. It's like they have a trophy to show off, but don't put in any effort. Exactly. And this is why I feel like marriage is a scam for women. It's a waste for most women. I really don't feel as though most women aren't informed enough about marriage for them to really understand what it is, how their day-to-day life is going to look because marriage ain't a destination. And I think how society has shaped marriage, how marriage is essentially packaged to us. It's like it's a destination. And once you arrive at said destination, you'll be in nirvana. It will be bliss. You will be happy. And most women that get married realize that that couldn't be any further from the truth. You getting married won't, it really is no guarantee of anything. If anything, it's way more work, way more conflict, way more sacrifice, way more compromises. And I feel like for women, marriage is just getting complacent with constantly being inconvenienced. Honestly, like if there was any way that I could best explain marriage, it's a woman learning and training herself to be complacent by being inconvenienced. I sometimes think men deep down hate how much the kitty has them in a chokehold. Oh, they hate it. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. Men hate the fact that they are so obsessed with a vagina. Sorry, I just wanted to say that. But yes, they're very, very they hate that. That is one thing that they don't like about themselves. I wish I saw it sooner. Better late than never. Better late than never. Can you guys believe these are my real like nails? My nails are so long. I clipped all the ones on this one, but these are actually this is actually my real nails. Um why don't they just date each other if they hate our bodies so much? So, here's the thing about men, right? Men will say that they're attracted to women, right? When men say that they're attracted to women, what they're really saying is that they are sexually attracted to women. Okay? So they only are attracted to sleeping with you. But on a mental and emotional level, they like men. They want you to shut up. Men are the ones that aren't that talkative compared to women. They want you to be submissive. Men are in the police force, firefighter, army, navy, marines. They're all taking orders from another man all day. They're all taking orders from another man all day. Everything that they are asking from a woman, those are all things that men are doing. Those are all things that men do. I can't stand men that talk a lot. I'm quiet. I have to see less talk, more action. In my experience, men that talk a lot, they use it as a form of leverage for manipulation. I hate how women my age look at marriage as a milestone. It's like, girl, wake up. Wake up. It's 2005 and you still drinking the Kool-Aid. You still drinking the marriage Kool-Aid and it's 2025. Girl, stand up. Exactly. 100%. Marriage is indentured servitude, unfortunately. Exactly. Bro code, bromance. They rarely speak so fondly of women. Exactly. That and even with them watching sports. Okay, so you mean to tell me you're watching sports and you're watching shit like football, and we all know that when the men run in the locker room, they all smack each other's asses in the locker room, and you're gonna sit here and tell me that they're not attracted to men. There's nothing about men that like kind of turns them on or makes them feel more emotionally safe or makes them feel understood. No, men feel more understood by other men. Men feel more emotional and more vulnerable with other men. They don't feel like that with women most of the time. They'll trauma dump on women. They will. They'll trauma dump on women because most men really don't know how to be most men don't have enough empathy to really be of aid, aid to one another, and so that's the reason why that's the reason why, um, they would prefer to get the emotional labor from women, pretty much. Why are they smacking each other's asses? How can that ever be straight? Girl, I don't know. I don't know. Butt slaps. They'll choose their bros all day, every day. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. I love my girl time. But like, even those men, when they had that podcast and they were saying like, they were asking about their feelings or how they would feel if they were on vacation with their girlfriend for like 3 to 4 days. And they were like, they were making it seem that they were trying to make it seem as if they were in prison with their girlfriend. They were trying to make it seem as if they were having to serve a jail sentence by going on vacation with their girlfriend. I don't know about y'all, but when I'm on vacation with a man, I'm trying to eat good food. I'm trying to be at the all inclusive, having all the drinks. And then I'm trying to go back to our hotel room and have a goddamn good time. You know what I mean? Why are you treating the vacation with your woman as if it's a prison sentence? There's no way you like women. You don't like women. Oh yeah, hell no. Don't date or marry men in the military. Girl, the military, the police force, firefighter. Mm-mm. Nope. Them men is crazy, child. Crazy. When I when I put guys in the friend zone and treat them like a bro, they become obsessed. It's weird. The reason being is because you turned yourself into a man, and so now they're attracted to you. Whenever this is how I knew that men were attracted to men. Okay? And I've brought it up before. So I did bodybuilding, okay? Where's my phone? I need to go on ahead and just post the shit in my community tab. Like honestly, I need to just post the shit in my community tab if I'm being honest. But I knew I knew that men were attracted to men for two different reasons. Um when I was in bodybuilding and I was really really fit, that was probably when I was attracting the most men. Number 1, and it obviously could be for things such as, discipline and, things like that. But men are very physical, okay? Men are very, very physical creatures. And then also, I kind of feel as though, whenever I was more so kind of like one of the guys, you know what I mean? When I kind of was just, the quote unquote cool girl. When men want you to be the cool girl, when men want you to be one of the bros, you like them, you want to be with a man. You want to be with a man. So, yeah, I put guys in the friend zone and treat them like bro. They become obsessed. It's weird. Yes, it's because you're fulfilling. They want a tranny. They want a tranny. So yeah, like that was me when I was doing bodybuilding. How cool, right? But yeah, I would actually get like a lot of like attention and stuff like that. One time, listen to this, guys. One time, this was back when I was using the dating apps, right? This is back when I was using the dating apps. And I remember this man, he was ugly as fuck. Let me just make that fucking clear. He was probably Nigerian or something like that. He probably was Nigerian. He had one of them bell pepper noses. Like his nose fucking spread out to his cheeks. It was so goddamn big. And I that motherfucker had a dog. He probably had a scent 10 times stronger than a damn dog with how big his nose was. I'm like, "Nigga, you can smell the food. You can smell the food they cooking next door. That's how big your motherfucking nose is." Okay, sorry. So anyway, um he had commented I had one of those pictures on my dating app, right? He had the nerve to comment on the picture and he was like, "You trannies in New York City are getting out of control." He had the nerve to call me a tranny. He called me a tranny for looking like this, y'all. Yeah, I'm so serious. He literally this was on Hinge. He literally wrote on my picture, "You trannies in NYC are getting out of control." It's always the ones that look like that. It's always the ones that look like that. You're over here gonna comment on one of my goddamn pictures and you look the way you look. Your nose is spread the fuck out like a fucking 9-month pregnant woman, and you got the nerve to comment on my shit talking about I look like a tranny. Come on. Looks like you snuck on the planet. It's always the ones that look like you slithered up to the city via the sewer. Girl, exactly. Exactly. Looking like who shot John? Who shot John and forgot to kill him? It's always the ugliest losers who are the most critical. Exactly. Because he was so insecure. Congratulations, dude. Exactly. I was a bit too nice on a whim, and now he keeps reaching out, and I can't be bothered. He has many connections in my line of work. Can I benefit without putting effort, or do I just block him? Well, honestly, it sounds like you don't want to be bothered with this guy. So I think the question to always ask yourself in situations like this, always remember, ladies, whenever you're dealing with a man, you are giving him something, even if you're not giving him your body. Even having a conversation with a man is he's siphoning your energy. Always remember that. Even having a conversation with a man, he is siphoning your energy. That is how energetically charged you are as a woman. And so you always have to ask yourself, whether it's always a transaction with men. Always remember, you in contact with the man is always a transaction. So even if you're not thinking about, I'm not saying that you are, but even outside of like giving up the goods, even if this is a guy who you can gain knowledge from him going to dinner, or you can meet his connections during dinner, if you don't want to pay the investment in energy to deal with this man in order to, gain knowledge, in order to reap the benefits of who he's connected to, in order to meet who he's connected to, don't do it. However, if you don't mind exchanging your energy in order for you to, move up, or, get in proximity to said connections, then go for it. But my thing is this is I can only speak for me. As I get older, I care a lot about my energy. I care a lot about what and who I give my energy to. And so I won't even like I'm at the age now where once a situation or once a conversation gets to a certain point and there's a lot of back and forth, I'm the type of person who it's like what someone said earlier, your nervous system. And please hit the like button, ladies. Please hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. We got 157 people in here. Let's say at least get the likes to 140. Let's say at least get the likes to 140. That should be doable. We got almost 160 people in here. Let's get the likes to at least 140. The thumb, the thumb, the thumb. Um, I value my nervous system. And so I'm at the point in my life where I'm quick to say, you know what? You got it. You got it. You win. I don't care. You got it. Because I just don't have the emotional energy. I just don't have the emotional energy to be able to keep going back and forth or to keep seeing someone that I'm not interested in or talk to someone that I'm not interested in. I could be for me personally, I rather give that energy off to other things that I have a stronger return on my investment. Me personally, um me pouring into women, me pouring into this space, me pouring into my content, this doesn't siphon my energy. It gives me more energy, you know? I always reap greater benefits when I pour into women as opposed to me pouring into a man because men are here to drain your energy. So, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that at all. You just have to be honest with yourself and say, "Am I wanting to give off said energy?" You know what I mean? Like, if there's anyone in here that's a sugar baby or that has ever been a sugar baby, all sugar babies can tell you that sugar daddies, they're like you guys are saying, babysitting grown adults. You being a sugar baby is literally you babysitting a grown adult. He wants attention all the time. He wants compliments all the time. He wants his ego stroked all the time. He wants your time all the time. It's like it's just always a form of energy that he wants to give you. He's paying you. Don't get me wrong, he's paying you. And if that's what your main goal is and you don't mind giving off your energy, go for it. But it's like, even then, it's like, okay, like I got on some dating sites, I started dating around and I'm like, you know what? I'm too tired. I can't do it. Like they drain my energy too much. I just don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth like I used to have it. My tolerance is a lot lower. That's why I like the coffee date, protect my energy. Exactly. And like this is what my stance is when it comes to things like coffee date. It's really based off of your intention and it's really based off of what are you trying to get out of this experience with this man. Women aren't a monolith. So I feel like this. If you are trying to deal with men on a monetary level and you really, really value the finer things in life, you like very nice experiences, you like gifts, you like the finer things in life. Um, I'm not going on a coffee date. I'm not going on a coffee date because I am not looking for a deep personal connection. There are women who are out here, they don't care about tangibles. They don't care about money, they don't care about a nice dinner. They are seeking a deep personal connection with the man. I I have my own thoughts about that, but I cannot sit here and down anyone for what it is that they're looking for. And so those types of women, they want to do a coffee date because they don't want to waste their time if there is no spark, if there is no deep connection, if there is no substance to the interaction. So everyone's different. I stream live a lot, and the men on there tell me all the time how much they love my energy because I'm so bubbly, etc. They know. Yep. I think I'm better off just being single. Me neither. And they know it because, yep, I'm bisexual and women are exhausting too. Child, listen, it was like a brief moment where I was like trying to like date women or talk to women. And I just started to think, I'm like, damn, no wonder why y'all men are single because these women are hard. These women are hard to crack too. These women are hard to get through too. I'm like, bro, it's just people. And at that point, I'm like, I can't deal with people. I can't. I can't deal with people. It's it's a 7 personal year for me, and already this year is whooping my ass. Like, this year is whooping my ass. Like, I look so tired, I look exhausted. This year is whooping my ass on a deep spiritual level, and it's to the point now where it's like, I'm ready to isolate. I'm ready to go off grid. I'm ready to go put up a goddamn tent and be alone because people have been exhausting me. I'd have to have a 200,000 plus salary to cook and clean for anyone else, for real, girl. And don't you ask me about having no goddamn baby. That's gonna be about $100,000 right there. And you gotta pay me every year that I'm cooking and cleaning. We gotta do 200K every year. And then the years you want a baby, that's another $80,000. I can't do it. Social distancing, protecting my peace, y'all. Like, child, if only y'all knew. If only y'all knew. If only y'all knew what my life was looking like right now. Take care of you, Queen. S. Rock. Aw, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I am gonna get because I didn't really get any rest last night. It's been a very eventful past 24 hours. I tell you that goddamn much. Oh my God, 2023 was my 7 year, got my ass kicked and had no patience for weaponized incompetence. When I tell you, when I tell you that uh, a human breathing too loud is enough to make me fucking fly off the handle, I mean it. I mean it. That literally is just how annoyed I am. Like, that's all it would take. That's all it would take. Someone breathing wrong, someone breathing too loud, someone breathing too deep. That's all it would take for me to fly out the handle at this given time. Ever since I've been selfish with my energy, I feel so much better. And I love that for you. Love that for you, boo. Reign in your power, boo. Because honestly, like when you're selfish, you really can reign in your power because you are hoarding all of your energy. And as a woman, you should be hoarding all of your energy. There are a lot of things in this world, in this life, that really do benefit and that are really appreciative of feminine energy. This is why when men say things like, oh, you're going to die alone with cats, cats are more appreciative of the feminine than men are. So I'll gladly die alone with a cat. Your channel is going to go viral. I can feel it. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Stay sovereign. Stay sovereign. Only child here. I get annoyed when my personal space is invaded for too long. I'm also an only child. And let me tell you, this is why I'm like, there's no way I can be someone's wife. There's no way I can be someone's wife. Like, I would have to live here and you would have to live there, or we would have to have a large enough house where we could be on different, separate confines, on separate wings of the house. I'm not sleeping in the same bed with you. You know, I'm not about to hear you snore. I'm not about to fucking, see you with your goddamn CPAP machine on. Um, I'm not about to be hot under the covers with you. I'm not about to be bumping elbows with you in the kitchen. I'm not about to be fighting over what TV show to watch. I don't have fucking time. I grew up not having to share any of my things. So, not doing it. Right, a sweat spot in the bed, you fucking farting in the bed. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. No. I'm sleeping and I got to hear wet farts. No. Having a wife and someone to have your children is about to be an actual commodity that's only afforded to wealthy men. Women are fed up and many are waking up, thank God. Girl, I can't wait. I can't wait. I want these women. I want women to eradicate. I want it to be full on anti natalism in this bitch. Okay. I want it to be anti natalism, anti marriage. I don't want any of that shit to be a thing. As soon as I hear a woman, I want to get married, I want to get married, I'm like, oh God. Oh God. I need to you when I hear women say that and then they're performing, I gotta start a jail. I gotta start a pick Misha jail. I gotta start a pick Misha jail. My man, my man, my man. That's a violation, miss. That's a violation, miss. You got going ahead. You got 3 more violations before you get sent to pick Misha jail. Okay. And then when they in the jail, Imma put them in Imma put them in solitary confinement, except they can't be around no men. It's no men allowed. They can't be friends with men on Instagram. They can't get no messages from men. They can't get no more male attention ever. Imma remove all access from men and pick Misha jail. I'm a I'm a Imma chain they fingers together. I ain't gonna put them in handcuffs. Imma chain they fingers together so they don't try to cook and clean. Imma have they fingers like this so they can't cook and clean. I wanted to tell her to get her ass from my cubicle with that bullshit and negativity. My coworker came over to my cuticle on Monday and showed me her engagement ring like it was a trophy. I hope I didn't look unimpressed when I told her congratulations. All the all the women that earn a decent amount of money, we should start going to the jeweler. We should start going to the jeweler and we should just buy our own wedding rings. So then when the pygmishas get proposed to, they can be like, look at my ring. Look at the ring my husband got me. And I'm gonna be like, bitch, look at the ring I got myself, bitch. Bling bling. Look how many carats you got. How many carats you got? Well, I'm like, it's like an eighth of a carrot. Bitch, 1 carrot. Bow. As you get older, your patience diminishes. Just wait until you hit 40. You will have to hold back from hurting their feelings for your safety because they are very emotional. Literally, I can just feel like I literally have to like check myself. You know what I mean? For the most part, I still have enough tolerance for me to be smooth and to be nice and for me to let them down easily. But in the pit of my stomach, it's like brewing, okay? The hatred is brewing. The misandry is brewing. And it's like, I gotta woosah, especially if someone catches me on the wrong day. And so it just got to the point where when I'm really in a mood, and I don't want to talk to a man, I say nothing. I literally just won't say anything. Like I remember one guy was like, "Hi miss. Hi miss. Hi miss." He just kept repeating himself and I just was like walking and he left me alone. Cuz you're going to sound fucking stupid. Hello, hello, hello and no one's talking to you. You're going to sound fucking stupid. So that's okay. You can call me whatever name you want to call me. You could do whatever it is. Nope. Now you look stupid, sounding like a broken record. Sounding like a broken record. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm deaf anyway. For me to validate myself, for turning them down. I just lie to myself and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm deaf. I couldn't hear him, no way." I bought myself a 2-carat diamond ring when I started making good money. It's dusty repellent for sure, one of the best investments ever. Girl, yes. I mean, it's not like a real ring, but it's kind of like a fake band or whatever. The Dusties never talk to me. Never. I have gotten a large reduction in men talking to me since I wear my little fake band or whatever, and it's been working. They've been staying far the fuck away. And guess what? I'm gonna add me a ring to this. I straight ignored a guy. He said, "I don't think she speaks English." I don't think she speaks English to his friend. No, seriously. That's the reason why I just ignore them. Because once you ignore them, they're either going to think that you're Riri, like they're literally going to think that something is mentally wrong with you. You're not all the way there, that you can't speak the language, or that you're deaf. Like literally, I've literally had a man been like, wow, she must be deaf. Like I literally had a man question if I was deaf or not because I ignored him. And also the thing is you can't make any eye contact. So when you see them in your peripheral, you can't give them any eye contact. Once you give them eye contact, it's over. You got to see them in your peripheral. It's like the men at the kiosk, the people at the kiosk. You know when you're at the mall and you're at the kiosk and they're trying to sell you something, you never give them eye contact. Once they're waiting for you to give them eye contact for them to sell what it is they want to sell to you. You got to maintain tunnel vision. And literally they'll be like, "Is she deaf?" Like, she didn't say anything. "Yes, I'm deaf. I cannot hear anything." That's how stupid men are. Men's egos are so large that men would think that something's wrong with you mentally, you don't speak English, or that you are deaf. Those would be the 3 possibilities before they ever were to think that you aren't fucking interested. That's how big their ego is. They rather think you're dumb, can't speak the language, or you're deaf before they ever think it's a fucking possibility that you just don't wanna talk to their ass. I literally told the grocery boy it was his decision as to whether I was rude or not. That's what I always say. You get to dictate how I respond to you. At the end of the day, you get to dictate whether I respond to you. It's like a plant. You put salt on a plant, the salt's gonna wither away and die. You give water to a plant, you give sunlight to a plant, it's gonna grow, it's gonna flourish, it's gonna be wonderful, it's gonna be great. It's all in response to what you're giving to the plant. It's the same thing with women. Dust does not settle around me. LOL, he was very, very confused. Then they speed up after you at the kiosk. Girl, once you give the kiosk people permission, once like literally in their head, when they see you give eye contact, in their head, they're like, "It's a sale. It's a sale." They looked at me, "It's a sale." And it's like, bruh, no, the fuck it's not. It's not a sale. You got to make sure that you don't ever give them eye contact. Just realized, oh, dust doesn't settle around me. Start throwing up them signs, boo, Bloods and Crips, LOL. Do what you gotta do. Girl, I ain't trying to do that. I ain't trying to do that. They may think I'm new and they gonna try to initiate me, child. This is why you must wear blackout shades. Yeah, when I lived in the city, when I lived in Chicago, child, I would be on that subway. Hold on, I think I have the picture. I showed it on one of my live streams. Hold on. Me and my homegirl had went out, and I was hungover. That was like majority of why my mug was so mean, because I was severely hungover. And honestly, the subway was the last thing that I felt like being on. Um, but also this is kind of my mug anyway on the subway because I want to be I'm trying to think. That was when I had the red wig. Oh yeah, so it's coming up. Oh yeah. Hold on, I'm waiting for y'all gonna crack up. I'm from Evanston. Love you, girl. Hey, we got a Indiana girl in his house. Y'all, look at how mean I looked. Hungover, mean, didn't want no one approaching me. Get the fuck away from me. Joe the scammer. Welcome to my Caucasian home. My wig was so stiff. My wig was so stiff. I was so hungover. I was so over it. That's why my best friend took the picture. She was like, "Girl, you got to see how you fucking look." She was like, "You look like a straight up bitch in this photo." That's why she took it. Like New York from Flavor of Love. Me in New York from Flavor of Love, we got the same goddamn birthday. Not the year, but we got the same birthday. Yeah, New York sitting on that bed with the shades. I know exactly what episode. I know exactly what picture you're talking about. It's giving Tokyo Tony. Child, I was mean as hell. I was mean. The mug was nasty. The mug was mean on that goddamn subway. Mug was mean on that goddamn subway. I stayed with a mug on that subway. Hell no, I'm trying to look as unapproachable as possible. Oh shit, that was real funny. Are you wrapped in the flag? Cool. No, it was like one of those reusable bags. I had had my night clothes. I had my night clothes, my going out clothes from the night before. I had those clothes in there. This pic cracks me up. Supreme resting bitch face, girl. Listen, my resting bitch face is on point, okay? On point. And a man was still trying to holler, girl. That don't be stopping them. The a man will see you fucking face all twisted up. What can I do to put a smile on your face? Smile for me. Are you kidding me? Please. Please, sir. Exactly. Give me $10,000. What I gotta do to put a smile on your face? You too pretty. You too pretty to be looking like that. You too pretty to be frowning. What's wrong? Get away from me. You want to know what'll put a smile on my face? You getting the fuck away from me. I went from angry to depressed. I went from depressed to disgusted. Now get away from me so I can go back to being depressed. Because that's one level of being disgusted after you have been in my presence now. Get away. Right, always want you to perform. Stop telling me to smile. Have you all seen that have you all seen that video of the Caribbean guy where it was like he's saying how men want you to react when they ask you to smile. And so it's him playing him as the guy and the girl. And mind you, the guy was actually really attractive. The Caribbean guy, he was real attractive. Anyway, it's him being the girl walking down like a hotel hallway or whatever. And then him, the guy, he was like, smile na, smile na. And so him being the yes, smile na. And so, and then it echoes, smile na, smile na. And so then him, the girl, comes up to him and is like, she gets all in his face. She's like, he gets all, she gets all in his face. Like, imagine if a man asked you to smile and that's what you fucking did. Like, the video is so uncomfortable. The video is so fucking uncomfortable because that's it. You just watching it, you're like, "Oh my god, this would instill so much fear in a person if you reacted like that," because I'm like, "What the fuck?" Just a sign of their insecurities asking for that smile. Exactly. And this is why I always say men don't get validation. They're asking you to smile because they want to artificially create a sense of validation. They want to artificially create a situation in which you smiled at them. Let me see if I can find it on TikTok cuz we got to watch this. Oh, it came right up. You're I swear to God, when it comes to TikTok and TikTok searches, you know that your TikTok search game is on point when you type in the keywords and the exact video that you want to have pops up is the first one that pops up. Because them TikTok keywords, they be using all types of weird shit for keywords for it to become searchable. I can't believe I got it on the first try.
Smile na. 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 Sorry. Sorry.
So now, when a man asks you, smile, smile for me, smile now, smile now, you can do that. Exactly. Oh, sorry. So that's what you can do. That's what you can do now if a man ever asks you to smile for him. Oh my god, I'm totally doing this next time some random idiot strange man at work or anywhere else asks me to smile more. I'm gonna go mental. All I hear is Tommy from Rugrats. It's a clown. Turned into the damn Joker. Girl, when he put his fingers in his mouth and he did the smile, that shit sent me. That shit sent me. That's crazy because men at my job do that all the time to me and I don't feel like smiling. Exactly. I don't want to smile for you. How much will you pay me for a smile? and a sense of superiority if they can get you to conform. Absolutely. Absolutely. So guess what? Give them a sense of superiority and smile for them like you're goddamn medicated, like your ass should be in a straitjacket. The easiest way to scare a man off is to have a mental illness, honestly, or to look like or appear you have a mental illness. Like, dude, I'm PMSing, get out of my face. Exactly. Be a straight hooligan. That was creepy. But that's the thing. Listen, you'll be not for a persistent man, you'll be nice, and you being nice to him it'll be an invitation for him to keep being persistent. Some of these men, like I said, you really have to make it seem as if you belong in a mental asylum for them to leave you the fuck alone. You really do. You like you really gotta make it seem as if something is mentally off for you for them to be like, "Oh shit." That may backfire actually. I've met men who have been in relationships with women with actual mental issues. It makes them feel like hero or savior. They are the mental ones. Girl, listen. That's because they was still nice and they were vulnerable instead that they had a mental illness. They did not approach a woman and the woman went, "Girl, that is not how it fucking happened. I'm telling you that right now. That ain't how it happened." Ain't no man finna look past that and be like, "I could save her." It probably was something like, okay, they had a conversation. Exactly. You being like this, it likely was a conversation that was had. This is the reason why I don't believe that women should tell men about their mental illnesses, about their childhood trauma. You should never tell a man about those things. You should never tell a man about your mental illnesses or any trauma that you've endured, SA, RAPE, anything like that. Don't ever tell a man those things about you. Never. Even the mental asylum is a turn on, unfortunately. Yeah, yeah, until they end up 6 feet under. These women aren't fucking with these men anymore. It's gonna get to the point where I feel like more and more women are gonna start putting these guys under the ground, in my humble opinion. It's an invasion of personal space to get up in someone's face and tell them what to do with it. Bow out. Exactly. Like, imagine if I came up to a man and I was like, "Make your penis bigger." Make it I'm just gonna come up unwarranted to a man. "That bulge in your pants looks small. Can you make your penis bigger, please?" Especially if he got on, like, some compression shorts or, like, some gray sweatpants. Make your penis bigger, please." Y'all divine creatures are wild. Have you ever been to Vienna? Let's make this channel go viral. Now that's something. Aw, I appreciate it. Ciao. I love the gray sweatpants too. I love the gray sweatpants too. I'm like, okay, okay. Yeah, because they're crashing out. Yeah, exactly. Make your hairline not recede. Exactly. Can sir, can you make your belly go back in, please? Can you make your belly back flat for me? Can you do that? It will make me feel better. It made me feel better if your belly wasn't protruding 5 inches past your jeans. He These men's bellies be so big. I'm like, damn, you can't even see your dingling on hard. That's how goddamn big your belly is. Like, imagine having your belly be so big you can't even see your dingling. Men expect so much, but won't drink water and eat their damn vegetables. Exactly. Exactly. I sent your videos to my mom. She watches now. Aw, thank you. One guy at the end of my last workshop was going around gathering all the participants' phone numbers in a phone book. I never exited so fast. Ciao. Listen, my old landlord, honestly, he was cool. He let me stay rent free for a while. He let me stay rent free for a while, but I did have to pay. I had to pay. And the way I had to pay, he took a picture of me. A clothed picture of me, like literally had like how I'm dressed now. I posed for a picture. So yeah. And he told on himself too. He was like, "Can I take a picture of you? I won't do anything creepy with it." And I'm like, "Well, that's code for you're probably gonna do something creepy with it, but yeah." I'm like, it's nothing more creepy with the picture that you can do that I have attached to my iPhone because he also has an iPhone. So I'm like, I'm literally wearing the same top. I'm wearing the exact same top. My hair is pretty much the exact same in that picture too. So yeah, he's gonna do something creepy to that with that picture. Thanks for sharing that. So that's the for free rent, that's what I had to pay y'all. For free rent, I had to pay in him taking a um a non-rated X, a non-rated R photo, a PG photo of me. That's what I had to pay to get free rent. A PG photo. He would have gotten a 555 so fast. Exactly, could be worse, exactly. I'll take it. I'll take free rent for a PG photo. Exactly, I took a headshot. That's exactly it. I posed for it and everything. I literally took the I literally was like he was like, "Can you take a picture? I won't do anything creepy with it." And so I said, "Okay." I placed my hands like how you have the photographer and the photographer's like, "Okay, wait, let me put uh, okay, put that." I was like, I posed for that. Yep, exactly. Not the school yearbook. Exactly. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. And then he showed me the picture. He showed me the picture after, and I'm like, "Yep, that's the look I was going for. That's the look I was going for." Because I had on a pajama top. I had on a pajama top. So I didn't want to fucking like I needed to do something where it wasn't given pajama, like where it wasn't given like the bed, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I need to do something kind of more polished because I don't want to look like I don't want him to know I don't want this to be a pajama photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm just like in my pajamas. I was like, nah, I'm trying to cover up that I'm in pajamas. So I put my arm across here and just did that because I didn't want to make it any more creepy. Okay. I want him to look at that picture and I wanted to look at that picture and think twice. Okay. That's really what my intention was. What will make him look at this picture and think twice? Probably nothing. I want him to look at that picture and be like, "Oh, okay. It looks like a relatively, that type of picture." I wasn't trying to give suggestive. Yes, Olin Middle School's picture. Your apartment girl debut. Exactly. And y'all, can you believe it? He had offered me to stay even longer. He was like, "You look tired. Are you sure you don't wanna stay another night?" I'm like, "Nah, I gotta leave, chow." I gotta leave, chow. Literally, he was like, "Is everything okay? You look tired. Do you wanna stay another night? Do you need to stay another night?" I'm like, "No." No. That's how my ass was there for so long because when I would decide to leave, he'd be like, "Well, you could stay another week longer." Okay. Okay, well, I wanna leave. "Well, you could stay another week longer." And I was like, "Nah, this is it. This is it." He just kept extending it and extending it and extending it. He said, he's like, "Well, I don't really think I'm gonna get a tenant until April." He was like, "I don't really think I'll get another tenant until April. I haven't been able to rent out the place." I'm like, "Child, listen, I gots to go now. Let me be free. Let me be free now." He was like, "Joe, from you, girl, I'm telling you." And then he had the nerve to ask me, do you have a Facebook?" "No, I don't have a Facebook." "We will not be friends on Facebook, sir." He's super nice, very nice. He looks good for his age, but baby, we can't be friends on Facebook, child. We can't be friends on Facebook, child. I done already let you take a picture of me, and we took a selfie together. He took a selfie. So he got a picture of me, and we got a selfie together. So I gave him more than enough. I gave him more than enough. He got a glamour shot of me and he got a selfie shot of me. He was trying to, you do you have a Facebook?" "Nah, I don't." His whole entire year, S. Rogers. He was actually white. He was an older white man. He was an older white man. I'm like, "Chow, we down 2,000 points off this one." Sounds like you got in and out there fine. Girl, sure did. Unscathed. Unscathed, child. He was trying to milk it. And then he said, then he was like, "Look at what I saved you in my phone as." And it was like, it was my name. And I don't know why he wanted to show me what he had my name saved as. It wasn't like it was anything interesting. And then he was like, "Don't forget about me because I do have reasons to come back to come to Chicago." He was like, "Don't forget about me." I'm like, "Ciao. Okay." That white man wanted you, sis. Ciao, clearly. Clearly. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord child, no Chicago. And then he went out of his way. He found his relative on Facebook. He's like, "I promise you, I have a reason to come back to Chicago." He was like, "Wait." And I'm waiting for him to pull this shit up as if I care, as if I really care. I'm tired at this point. I'm about to live stream with y'all before all this is happening. And I'm like, if you don't hurry up and get the hell on so so I can go convene with my people. He's like, "Yeah, see," he was showing me his phone. He's like, "Yeah, see, he lives in Oak Forest. He lives in Oak Forest. So when I'm ever back and I'm in Oak Forest, I will contact you." Ciao. He wants to make sure we cross paths again. I know that much. Funniest chat ever. Thanks, Queen Sovereign, and all. Ciao, ciao. I'm actually about to get off this thing too, y'all. I am. I'm about to get off this thing too. I had a wonderful time tonight. I swear you guys all saved me tonight, literally, because it's been a day. It's been a day and a night. So I really appreciate you all for being in the chat and watching the live stream. And I will see you ladies next time. Bye.